Looks blocks is one of the 10 categories of scratch blocks. They are color-coded purple, and are used to control a sprite's appearance. There are currently 22 looks blocks, 18 stack blocks and 4 reporter blocks. 14 are only for sprites, and 4 are only for the stage. According to the Scratch statistics, this block category has the most used blocks with over 2 million uses. The coding blocks will help you writing text on the screen, show or hide the sprite or change the costume or backdrop. Select the Say blocks. We'll note that you could display a text bubble on the screen for 2 seconds or leave it there permanently until you want it removed. Select the Think blocks. We'll note that you could display a text bubble on the screen for 2 seconds or leave it there permanently until you want it removed. A costume is one out of possibly many frames or alternate appearances of a sprite. Sprites can change their look to any of its costumes. They can be named, edited, created, and deleted, but every sprite must have at least one costume. One of the most common uses of costumes is to make an animation for a game or other project. A backdrop is one out of possibly many frames, or backgrounds, of the stage. It is located in the backdrops library. The stage can change its look to any of its backdrops. They can be named, edited, created, and deleted, but the stage must always have at least one backdrop, otherwise, the stage would not have an image to resemble. Backdrops can be changed by creating different types of backdrops which can be selected from the library or created yourself. This block is a commonly used block. It is used whenever the stage must switch to a specific backdrop, instead of the next backdrop block, which does not always give the same backdrop. A variable, or any reporter, containing a number or the name of a backdrop can be dropped in. As this block changes its sprite's size, it is used whenever a sprite size must be changed. Some common uses are: a sprite in a 3D world that must change its size as it moves along the plane. A growing object. A shrinking object, usually to the point where it can be hidden. This can be achieved by putting a minus in front of the value. For example, if you want the sprite to shrink slowly, you would put -1 in the block. Changing the size of a paintbrush for painting. Draining a pool of water by shrinking the water sprite. Making an object that grows and shrinks continuously. The change effect by block is a looks block and a stack block. The block changes the specified effect on its sprite by the specified amount. There are 7 different effects to choose from: color, fisheye, whirl, pixelate, mosaic, brightness and ghost. As this block changes an effect, it is used whenever an effect's value must be changed. Some common uses are: changing the color of a graffiti can with the color effect. Using the fisheye effect to make a sprite look like it is in water. Whirling sprites with the whirl effect. Pixelating sprites with the pixelate effect. Creating the illusion of multiple sprites with the mosaic effect. Creating different brightness levels with the brightness effect. Making creatures transparent with the ghost effect. Making a sprite change color, in the project, with the color effect. There can be multiple effects on a sprite at once, effects can be combined to produce even more brilliant effects. The show block is a looks block and a stack block. If the block's sprite is hidden, it will show the sprite. If the sprite is already showing, nothing will change. The hide block is a looks block and a stack block. If the block's sprite is shown, it will hide the sprite. If the sprite is already hidden, nothing happens. This block is one of the simplest and most commonly used looks blocks. A hidden sprite cannot be touched. The go-to layer block makes a sprite go to the very front or back of the entire stage. You can choose another sprite from the sprite menu. You will note that the second sprite now overlays the first sprite. You can move the first sprite to the front by choosing one of the go-to layer blocks. This can be used for moving objects behind or in front of each other as part of animation. You can edit your sprite by going to the editor screen. You can even change the costumes. Pen blocks can be used for writing on the screen. This is particularly handy when drawing shapes. For Scratch 3, you can add the pen blocks by clicking on the plus at the bottom of your screen. The Erase All block is used for clearing the screen of any writing that was done by the pens. A stamp leaves an image of the sprite behind. This image can be cleared by the Erase All block. Pen down is used for starting to draw. Remember to select the pen color before using pen down. To stop drawing, use the pen up block. The pen color can be changed by setting the pen color or changing it in intervals. Pen size would change the thickness of the pen color, which can be changed in intervals or set.